Fishing is fun, but hooking is the only way. We're gonna show you how to catch some fish today.
So hey guys, this is my weekly report for the 14th of September. But first I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been in the fishing industry for many years, probably around 30 or more. And when I do these reports, I get a lot of my information from me being on the water like 3 or 4 times a week. Friends, customers, and then all the local guides are keep in touch with me, so they give me an idea what's going on. You know, if anything starts perking up, they let me know. So basically, you know, these reports are really current. So, you know, whatever I tell you, you could actually go out this weekend and catch fish. So I put out 2 videos a week. Monday, I do a teaching video, and on Wednesdays, I do my reports. So if you like these videos, please hit the like, gives me a general idea, and then hit the subscribe button, so you know that'll help me down the road. So let's get on with this report now. So basically I'm going to start with the saltwater, and I think the salmon fishing's kind of dwindling down, but they're still catching a lot of them outside the gate. You have to work with it, you know, they're not slaughtering anymore, but they're still catching quite a few, and the size is big. They've been a lot of fish in that 20 to 35 pound range, but you have to work at it. And the best baits are probably throwing anchovy, and you can watch my video. I showed you how to hook them up. You put a wire harness in it and put a little curve to it so that it rotates in the water. And a lot of times this year, I think more guys were using it without a dodger than with a dodger. So you could do it both ways. And also you're going to be doing it, you could be doing it on a downrigger, or you could be using a 2.5 pound ball and with a sinker release. So every time you hook one, your sinker falls to the bottom of the ocean. But it's just a way to get down to that certain depth that those fish are in. So I'll get to the river salmon here in a minute. Out in other thing on saltwater, the halibut fishing's kind of slowed down a little bit, but they're still catching some on the north bar. If you were going to go out for them, I would probably tell you to go on the north bar on a slow incoming tide, and they are still catching some out there. Inside, I heard it slowed down a little bit, a lot of undersized fish, but you can still get live anchovies at the San Francisco Wharf, and if you wanted to fish around there, you could still catch them, but you're going to go through a lot of small ones. One of the hottest things that's been happening is up north, up at Fort Bragg, the Albacore, because of the warm water, comes in close to the shore there, where here it's, you know, like 30 miles past the Farallones. But as you go up north, that warm water gets closer, so you only have to go out 10 to 30 miles. And they've been doing really good. There's days when all the boats are catching them. You know, they're getting anywhere from 10 to 30 fish per boat. How many ever you can accommodate without, you know, the fish spoiling, so you got to be able to take care of them. You could throw these Rapalas. They make these Mad Max lures that you can't even get. And they've been just catching a lot of them on Zookers. But the fish bite over there, you know, we had quite a few friends of mine have been going up there, and they've been catching quite a few. And they've been averaging around 10 to 25 pounds. So it's a good grade of albacore. And, you know, I'd watch the currents and see where the warm water line is before you make that long drive, because it is a long day. So the albacore fishing has been pretty good. So out in the bay, there is this occurrence of a red tide, and there isn't a whole lot of talk about it, but actually what it does, it takes the oxygen contents out of the water, and there has been sightings of dead fish. So I think fish, you know, when they get into that predicament where the oxygen content is low in the water, I think they avoid it. And they'll either go around it, go under it, you know, I don't know. A lot of the area, let's say between Carquinez and Rio Vista, there's still a lot of stripers in the system. I'm getting a lot of reports from friends and guides that are actually catching a lot of fish, and their size has been pretty decent, you know, from keeper fish on up to around 15 pounds and a 20 pounder occasionally. I think if the water temperatures cool off a little bit lower, get in the 60s, I think the fish will start heading more inward and we'll start seeing them come up north. Usually my temperature range is probably around 65 to 52 degrees is where I do the best, especially on those big fish in that shallow water. But they are catching a lot of them right now, and I mean, I've heard, we've been going up north and we're still catching a lot of fish. A friend of mine, Eddie, is out here with us today and actually caught a couple nice keepers on a break. And a friend of mine, Billy, caught one about 12 pounds. So there's a lot of fish around here. So, you know, you could come out here and catch a lot of stripers right now, but I don't think you'll get any giant ones. They'll be just your good size, eating size fish. So the striper's been biting good on Z-Man 5-inch swim bait and a pearl, or there's one, another color, it's kind of almost looks like a rainbow trout. 5 inches, put it on a 1/2 ounce jig head, and make sure you glue it on. You can watch my videos. I did some videos before where I showed you how to glue them on. Make sure you glue them on straight, and then throw them around the breaks, and it's very effective down here this time of the year. So bass fishing down here. I've been doing a lot of bass fishing and it's been excellent. I mean, I'm not catching no giants, but I'm getting, you know, 15 to 18 pound limits pretty consistently, and I've been punching and flipping. I catch them on the morning on top water, but after that I put it down, and you know, you're gonna see me flipping or punching a brush hog, and been catching some nice fish. And perfect tide this morning, got a nice one. So for the frog fishing, I just released a video this last Monday, and I show you how to trick it out and what I do to my frogs on different situations. But the frog bite down here in the Delta has been very good too, so don't put them frogs away quite yet. Now I want to get into our lakes. So the bass fishing up at Berryessa has been crazy off the hook, and there's a good spoon bite. If the weather would cool off, the spoon bite will turn on. And also remember, watch out for that flutter spoon. This last fall at the end, I was testing this flutter spoon from Blade Runner, and I just smoked them. And I can't wait till this year till I can find those fish cruising around out there in 30 feet of water and chasing bait, and then just winging that flutter spoon on top of them. I think I'm gonna have a field day. And I will be doing a video, because a lot of people have been asking me, you know, are you going to be doing a video on spooning and that flutter spoon? Yes, I will. That's guaranteed to be coming out, and as soon as the weather starts changing and cools off at nights, I'll put that video together so I can teach you guys how to use those spoons. Don, who's been going up there, guiding up there, doing really good. He gets on a decent spoon bite, but the temperature is so warm, it don't last very long. So then he has to go to drop shotting. You go get that drop shot, fishing it in 25 to 35 feet of water, and then he use any kind of little 3 to 4 inch plastic in a shad color, and you shouldn't have any trouble catching a lot of bass. One of the things I've been hearing about Berryessa also is the trout bite. The trout bite's been crazy off the hook. There's a lot of good sized fish being caught. They have that Eagle Lake strain in there, and there's a lot of trout in there in that 2 to 5 pound range, and they're catching them in 40 to 50 feet of water, and a lot of guys are trolling speedy shiners. And I've been up there a lot of times, and I'll put on a speedy shiner, and then other rods I will have a shad wrap. You have to go about 2.5 to 3 miles an hour with the speedy shiners, and the shad wraps you can also troll at that kind of speed. So you can't put on like a floating Rapala and go 3 miles an hour. It'll just spin in circles. So shad wraps and speedy shiners are the go-to baits right now, and you have to get it down 40 to 50 feet on your downrigger. Set back probably about 60 to 75 feet before you clip it in. And because when I did the kokanee one, you guys are seeing me doing short setback, but when you're doing trout and you're throwing a lure, you want that thing out quite a ways behind the boat. So anywhere between 60 and 75 feet should be adequate, and drop it down. And I did a video earlier at Lake Comanche trolling speedy shiners. So, you know, watch that video and you'll see exactly how to do it. and you could do it at any of the lakes. So just watch the video and hope you can learn how to do something there. Other lakes that are going on, I heard a lot of the Sierra lakes have been producing trout also, but make sure you check on, I know Ice House is closed, so you got to check on it and see if you could get in because of the fires all going around, you know, so I would always check before you head up there, or maybe not even go up there right now with all these fires because you could get trapped in there. I know you guys have been waiting to hear on this, but I'm going to be scouting for salmon. I heard a rumor the fish are in the river, so I haven't been out. You know, I know the water temperatures are a little warm, so I know it's going to be a little bit difficult, but I heard some rumors from friends, and these guys I know are telling me some information, but there are a lot of fish in the river, so you could get out and go catch salmon. Ricky Acosta has been going out every day for this last week. He's been putting in, you know, one day he might only get one day he might get 3, but they're starting to catch them. They're grafting a lot of fish, but they're swimming up high on the water column, and they're hard to make hit. So you just have to put your time in. You know, if you drag it right in front of them, they're probably going to bite it if you get them aggravated. But there's just a lot of fish in the system now, and I'm going to get out there, hopefully, in the next couple of days, and I'm going to go out and see if I can find some fish. And one of the things about the salmon this time of the year, there were so many of them out in the ocean this year, and it's starting to slow down. We've got the red tide, we got all kinds of things that have been conflicting, where are the fish? But you know what, I think they're going to come through. So when they get up here and the water temperature is cool, because it is cooling off a little bit, but it needs to drop another, at nights it needs to get in the 60s. And then in the daytime, get in the upper 70s and the low 80s, then them fish will start biting. So I'm gonna go out, so just, you know, keep an ear out, because next week I might be telling you guys it's wide open. I'll be doing a spooning video here real soon. That'll be coming out real soon on spooning for salmon. And I think spooning for salmon is probably one of my favorites, because, you know, I got total control. I'm on the front of the boat. I can see them on a meter. I drop it down and put it in front of them. So if I get into the salmon and I actually find them, I'll post it on my Facebook page on Alan Fong Outdoors. So you can always check on Alan Fong Outdoors Facebook and see what I'm doing, because I post them weekly. Our tackle tip for this week is for you salmon trollers. Troll downstream. You always want to be trolling downstream. You don't want to be trolling against the current. You want to troll downstream. That way when the fish are hitting, you know they're going upstream, so you want to bring the lure to them. You don't want to bring the lure past them. So one of the best ways to troll is go downstream. So that's my tip of the week. We know who the fisherman is.
I'm letting Alan hold my big fish.
Yeah, right.
He gets very testy.
See what I caught, people? And see what she caught?
Oh, you're letting me hold
That's
your
the
fish
normal.
again?
That's the normal day. Day on the water.
Yep.
These are Alan.
Always holding Alan's
Older than
fish.
me.
Always trading.
Mine could have ate those. So if you look on the bottom, guys, if you hit that comment, you can leave me a comment, and I usually get back to you within 2 or 3 days. And you could ask me anything currently, or some video you're watching down the road and you want to ask me a question, just ask me. It doesn't matter, you know, what video you're talking about, just ask me the question and I'll get right back with you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.
Fishing is fun, but hooking is the only way. We're gonna show you how to catch some fish today.